Right, this is back to the 2-inch flood valve, and this is what I think is the problem. Threads have cleaned up nicely on there. If I demonstrate with this is just now a shop board elbow into the piece. Here we go, ready? This is going to go around 1, 2, 3, 4 and a quarter turns. All right. Now I'm going to put it on here. There, just on there. So here we go. 1 and a half. I mean, I just don't think it's enough. It feels tight, it feels good, but it just hasn't had many turns on it, and that's what worries me. I could turn it a little bit more. I'd get probably another half a turn maybe with the spanner on it, but I mean it really it's on well. I just feel it should have more turns. That was like 3 to get it off, I suppose. I don't know. Surely somebody must know what to do. The other thing I thought of that I could do is I could get a square or just an extension, whatever you call them. You see, because that one is sort of the same, and I could weld on an extension and then screw the valve on here, and then I feel that it would be properly done. I don't know. I'll do it. I'll just try it again. Here we go. I mean, I suppose it's not bad. That was maybe 3 turns, but I could weld it around the back, or I could weld it in there, or I could not weld it. I could put an extension on, or I could just leave it. I'd really like some advice if anybody knows anything, any suggestions. I really want to get this boat ready for diving this week. Right, I've decided I'm gonna cut this lot off now. This isn't in quite the right place. I think it probably was the original pod holder. But I'm going to cut this one and those other 2 off and start again. I just grabbed a V-button on this and I suddenly realised I didn't have the camera on. It's not very exciting. Right, I've done the first 2. I'm just going to do these ones at the back now. Just had to rig up a bit of a spark shield. Somebody's lolling around the back of there. Right, I'm just lining the pods up finally for welding them in position. Now I've just noticed that this tab, it just isn't quite vertical. It's just sloping a little bit towards the boat. So what I've done is I've just cut out a little triangular piece, and I'm just going to tap it so it's back into vertical. It probably doesn't look any different from there, but that is definitely straight. Right, it's in place, last check. We're assuming that everything is relative to that. Hatch top's parallel relative to that, but much all. There's nothing much more I can do, that's going to be it. Got to make a commitment. That's it, let's get it on. Just got to stop the welding for a moment just to go and watch the agility thing, which is always quite comedy. Right, that's it, no going back. Work colleague said that his dad had passed away and his mum wanted all this junk out of their shed, so I went round to have a look, and there was quite a few bits and bobs. He had some good stuff in there, so you always feel a bit guilty rummaging around in some guy's shed, even if he's not going to need it anymore. But I've done it a couple of times before. You feel really bad. There's his stuff and there's half finished jobs, whatever he was doing. So I've got this Rotary Table with indexer, but it appears it seems to be jammed up. Oh, it seems actually, oh, that didn't move the other day. Oh, that's not so bad then. So I've got to get that going. I mean, it just depends on how much effort you want to go to, I suppose, to get it sorted. A few drills, some, what is this, metric end mills. Roughing mill there. Box of mills, always handy. What's this? I literally just grabbed it, so this is Imperial Mills. Some of these are new. Ball nosed one. Looks like someone's had a go at that. But yeah, I mean there's quite a lot of mills in there, always useful. Probably, some of them will be no good, but let's go through it. Can't remember what this was. Oh, that was a drilling and tapping set, and whether it's any good or not, but let's just stick them in the box. What else? What was this? I can't remember. Oh yeah, this was a really super fine taps and drills for really fine things. Now, it's really super unlikely that I'm ever going to need it. I mean, look how small that is. God knows what that is. Ridiculous. If I ever get into watchmaking, I'll crank that out. What was this? Ah, yeah, I think this is I think that's to do with that. Not sure what that bit is. I think it might be the cover for that. The indexer. Gear cutters. This I thought was quite useful. The taper's not right for my mill, but could adapt it. There's a Jacob's chuck and there's other gear bits and bobs. Slitting saw. Actually, that will double as a slitting saw, wouldn't it? So that's that's all quite good. What's this? It's a big fat drill. Dead centre, very small one, and there's a fly cutter as well. I thought was easily useful. some tooling. 3 fly cutters actually, really small ones. That's what you'd use them little ones for. I mean, the milling machine that he had there was a bit of a small one, so. I've serviced the boat engine, it's all ready to go. Put 3 new carburetor kits on it. Seems to run well. Changed the gearbox oil, changed the impeller, cleaned the boat, anti-fouled it. So it's all ready. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some new stickers on the engine because it just looks a mess.